Meow.
Meow.
Meow, meow, meow.
Meow.
Ow.
Meow.
Meow. Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Fish versus Fish. And as you can see, we have the amazing Grant. This is like, Grant, I wanted to have you on sometime when we wouldn't talk about shrimp, so we could talk about some of your other expertise. And you like travel all over the place. So I think you'll have a lot to add to this discussion. But we also have the amazing Skipper and super cool Rico.
The
Right down
amazing
there.
Skipper.
Amazing. You're just cool, Rico.
So I'm super cool.
Okay.
Super cool.
And do we have people watching yet?
No.
I can't. Oh, okay. Do you want to say hi real quick? Well, let me first explain what we're going to do tonight. Tonight, we're doing Fish versus Fish Vacation. Since it's summertime, we want to do stuff in the summer with our kids and stuff. These are all different types of vacations, ranging from super expensive to not so expensive. And things for us to do. We're going to take two people. Oh, no. Do I have my phone? Uh-oh. Rico, do you have a phone with the automatic dice? I could grab some dice. I left my phone upstairs, I think.
I could just do a random number generator.
Yeah, we'll do two random number generators. Boy, I can't speak. So that way, everybody here can give their opinion on what they think also of these different trip ideas. But okay, well, hey Skipper, do you want to say hi to people while he's getting his random generator thing going?
I can do that.
I wish I knew where my...
I'm going to be off the participants list. We got two Cooley for Schoolie, Benjamin Peters, Caleb Shirley, Dennis Christensen, Keystone Clash, Leslie Perry, Master Aquatics called me Eduardo, Matilda Robinson, Fish and Floral, Nathan Hubay, Oinky, Paul Sotero, Rocky and Miles, Scotty the Fish Freak, Super City, Scruffy City Aquatics, Tampa Tom, TJ Autocross, Travis Myers, the Xana Dude, and that looks pretty much it on the participants list.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Skipper.
You're welcome.
Well, and you guys, if you have any questions or want to say something, put in at one of our names and we'll see it and hopefully read it. But let's just get this ball rolling. This is, since the Keystone Clash is here, we're going to start off with club-sponsored events. Club-sponsored events. Club-sponsored events. And I couldn't find a Fishtoberfest photo, so I just put Kenny catching a fish.
Close enough.
And then the Big Fish deal's been closed down for a while, but it was so much fun. I still added it, and I'm praying that they come back someday. So, but this is a place, the Keystone Clash. I get to hang out with all three of you guys. It's awesome. Love going to the Keystone Clash. I get to see Grant at a lot of these things because he sets up like a table and sells fish and stuff. Let's start with Grant. How do you feel about these events?
So my earbuds, the wireless ones. Sorry, I can barely hear Skipper when he's talking, and Ed half and half. So I'm gonna get the earbuds so I can hear you guys a little bit more clearly. But like the question, how do I feel about the Clash or the events? All three of them.
Well, kind of club-sponsored conventions. And we can push the Clash because that's the one coming up, and we're all going to be there.
So besides the Clash, off the top of my head, the only other one that I've been to, and I've actually seen you at it also, was when they hosted the ALA down in the Coral Springs at the South Aqua Expo. So that's a club hosted event. I actually spoke for their club last month, but like as a vendor and as like an attendee, I would say both of those two shows are, you know, a must go to, travel to, go to see and attend those shows for sure. Definitely vending. They're not like a expensive price to get in and get a table and stuff like that. So it kind of helps with some of the costs and whatnot. So both of those shows are really great. I haven't been to the Big Fish Deal or Fishtoberfest, but I definitely would want to go to Fishtoberfest if it wasn't on the opposite side of the country altogether.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, now how we do this, Grant, is we're going to rate these from 1 to 10, and because we don't want to bash a particular event or something, you can give more than one of a high number. Because sometimes it's kind of fun, like when we're doing football players and stuff, and you save a one for maybe your favorite thing. But like I'll start it and say, I love these type of events. I'm going to say a 9 for me for this type of event, for like the Keystone Clash and things like that. But okay, so where would you rate that between 1 and 10?
I'd give it a 9.2.
Nice. Okay, I'm going to give it a 9 just
Okay.
because it's hard for me to do
point?
math.
All right.
Well, I'll write down 0.2 just in case there's a tie. I'll put the 2 down in the corner. Okay, Skipper. Now you worked the Clash. You're like a big cheese there.
Well, I'm not a big cheese. I'm just the muscle. I mean, this year I
Okay,
do
well,
have a lot.
It's kind of cooler.
I have a lot to help with setting up the aquascape side and the fish show, and that's the only 2 things I'm going to be working on this year. Man, it's hard, but I'm going to give it a 10. Those types of events, because what is great about it is they're club driven, right? So the money that Keystone Clash, Fishtoberfest, well, even Triple Crown, that got divided up into 4 different clubs. That helps them run for the year. So it's a big donation event to pretty much to help all these club-driven events out. So for me, and one of the great things about it is the people you get to meet. I do believe there's going to be quite a few different people come to this that we haven't met yet. So it's going to be great this year.
What? And you know, that's how, like, I would see Grant at Aquashella all the time. But I think when I was in Miami, I actually got to talk to Grant for the first time. And that's when I really became like, he's a really cool guy, you know? And so I really think these events are good. Instead of, like, Grant was just another guy at Aquashella and we're all just working, running around with our heads cut off. You know, that when I first started working with those guys. And now I get to hang out with Grant and he's freaking awesome. But before, I really think that event helped me, like, I don't want to say solidify my friendship, but, you know, get to meet Grant in a real one-on-one situation, like a real live person.
Was that the first event that you dyed your hair, your beard red for?
Well, I've been dyeing my beard for almost 20 years now.
Okay.
But
was it the first time that
you
did it, maybe?
Maybe, because I only do it. Oh, it was during football season.
Yeah.
And I only keep it red during football season unless the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. So that was probably the first time you saw it red, was maybe because of that.
Yeah, because that's what like blew up on my feed was you and James with the different colored beards driving all the way down to see us. And I was like, I gotta get these guys to come talk to my club or do something for us and collaborate or something like that. So yeah, that's when I was like, I gotta talk to this guy. It's like he's fun to be around.
Well, and I'm trying to put together a couple PowerPoint presentations. So maybe I'll be ready for you eventually.
When you're ready.
But,
I
okay,
got
Rico.
spots open.
Okay, first of all, I don't have any experience with other types of. I haven't been to the Aquashellas. I've been to some fish swaps and things like that, but I haven't been to any of the other stuff. So I can't really, when we get to those, I'm going to have a hard time rating them. But I give the club events like the Keystone Clash an 11-17.
Okay.
A
Is that
10. Give me a
a
10.
10?
Yes.
Oh, I keep putting everybody in a different spot. Okay.
Absolutely love the event. To me, it's the right size, because like you just said, you didn't even get to talk to Grant at Aquashella. Aquashella, the focus is a little bit different. These types of events, the Fishtoberfest and the Clash and stuff, those types of events are more about the people and the fish, and not about what's new in the hobby, and what company has this. And, it's a little bit more down to earth. Again, for being such a small event, Keystone Clash, when you compare it to Aquashellas, it's what, 10%, maybe even smaller than that. But when it comes to community, it's strong, it's so much bigger. Like Skipper said, there's going to be a lot more. Last year, there was 60, 65 of us. And this year, it looks like there's going to be about 100 of us. That's amazing that 100 people from our community are going to be there. So that's the part that I love the most, is getting to hang out with everybody and meet people face to face. You were talking about making friendships or solidifying friendships, and you 100% do that. We can talk all day online, but it's not the same of actually being there face to face and shaking hands and hanging out with people and really just getting to know them. And I've made some amazing friendships thanks to the Clash. So if there was a higher number, I would give it a higher number.
Cool. Okay, well, it's driving me crazy not having my page up. I'm going to try to pop my page just so I can see numbers on the side. Oh, I just shut it. But Skipper, do you want to be the guy who says go?
You got a super chat too from Craig's Catfish Cave. He gave you $10 dues.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Thank you, sir. You are awesome. And his fish tanks are amazing. If you guys ever get a chance, go check out one of his live streams and ask to see his African cichlid tank, because it's insane. It is so cool. Okay.
You also had a couple membership milestones up. Did you say them yet, Rico?
I did not. I didn't even see Eduardo's. Hi, Eduardo. And Peplin. Go ahead, Skipper. You're already in the middle.
Peplin Creek Aquatics, member for 12 months. Ed with a heart. Stain. Skipper Grant, good evening. And then you have Eduardo, 10 months. He says 10 months. Time has flown. Way to go, Ed.
It has been crazy. Thank you, sir. You're awesome. I'm going to pop out chat. And Rico, what I did was I just hit pause on the video feed.
Well,
Rico,
thinking
maybe
your headset,
I'm having odd sounds.
Well, anyways, we'll go. Oh, there's another super chat from our buddy Whip. A 10. I give the Clash a 10. He gave you a $5
Awesome.
super chat. Hi, Steven.
Okay, well, do we only have two people that's...
Did you? Oh, yeah, you said go. So we're looking for ratings. Rate the club events as what's your favorite type of event? Is the club event your favorite? Yeah, so far there's only two, Whip and Jeff Kane. Oh,
there we go.
Hi, Lefty. Scotty.
So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's roll 2 6-sided dice and see. We'll just get the two people that are in there. There we go. Oh, well, now there's a whole bunch. Well, you want to do two randoms?
All right, here's your first one. It is 19. I don't know. We don't think we even had 19. I went 1 to 30. Probably should go less. So Jenna P would be the top one.
Okay, and let's do it
He
one
gave
more
it a
time.
10.
And Jenna P, a 10.
Now I'm gonna go a little lower here. Five.
Oh, right. Oh,
Who was
I
number
was just
five?
going to write down a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Master Supreme. Mikey says a 10.
Everybody's saying 10. Lefty gave it a 9. Craig said 8. And I think that's because Craig can't come all the way over here. I think that's why he gave it an 8. I'm just guessing. Although Mark's going to be
Craig.
trying to make it to the Keystone Clash next year. All
Oh
the
my
way
gosh,
across
that'd
the
be awesome. He could teach us how to speak Australian. Be so cool. Okay, so now let's go to the next thing, which here we go. No, I wanted to do the one that I was writing in, and now I don't even see. Oh, here it is. South Africa, swim with the great white sharks. This is probably the most expensive thing on the menu. I don't know if any of the 4 of us have ever done it, but this is also a wish list thing. So maybe you want a free trip to anywhere in the world. Maybe Grant says, I've never swam with, great whites. And Skipper says, no way, I hate great whites. So let's do this. Okay, I checked it out. The average cost for 2 to go to South Africa, you also get a safari and diving with the great whites, and there's some boat ride called flying with the great whites. Costs $13,000 for 2 people to go. So kind of expensive on the expensive end. And I'll start it. I don't know if oh my gosh, they're attacking my fish. Gosh, I hate cichlids. I hate cichlids so much. I'm sorry, guys. Why are they so mean?
Whip.
This one of my cichlids, she's egg bound, and man, they just keep going after her. Terrible. Okay, I digress. I'm gonna give it a 5. Just because. No, I'm gonna give it a 4. I don't think I want to. I'm gonna give it a 3. I just don't want to go there. I'm gonna give it a 2. Okay. Rico, what's your opinion?
I'll go
Great white
with
shark.
5. It sounds interesting. It's not anything that I'm dying to do, but it's something that'd be fun, and I would love to, I would love to be able to say I did it, but if I never did it, I didn't miss out. You know what I mean? Just a 5, right down the middle.
I keep thinking of TD flies biting me.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't want to get bit by the weird things in Africa. Okay, Skipper, how do you feel about going to South Africa? Now you've been all over the world as a military man.
Yeah, but not there. If money wasn't an issue, and I would give it a 9. I would love that. That'd be one heck of an adrenaline rush. It'd be good to experience it. Plus, you get a safari in the mix of it. Why not be shark bait and line bait all at the same time?
You would.
That's why I gave it a 2.
Never mind.
Okay, Grant. How do you feel about this?
I got a question. Do you have to use the cage? Was there a non-cage option, like swimming with the sharks?
Maybe.
I think they call that.
I'm sure you can pay extra. They'll do anything in Africa.
I'm also thinking like my dad could do a side business and take the boat out in Hawaii and just chum the water a little bit and weld himself a cage for 10 grand and take people out and do the same thing. It'd probably be like a 7 for me. For like that amount of money, I feel like there's other destinations that I could go to and do some collecting and get a little bit more out of it. So 7.
Did you already say go to, Skipper?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Okay. And do we? Let's see. I see 1, 3, and 1.
Oh, there's been a bunch more.
There was two
Okay.
more above that.
There's been quite a few.
City
There's-
vacations aren't good to vote on. Sometimes we
see.
have like 30 people voting on these things,
I see an
are
11,
giving their opinions.
a 9.
Now,
there's-
Whip said 10 Earl won. He's got to make up his mind. He either wants it or he hates it.
I think he meant a 10.1.
He said, I want to tell you exactly what he said. Where is it? Hi, Dee Dee. That's not what he said, but I would drown 1,000 kittens to swim with great whites.
Yeah, he did say that.
Might draw him in.
yeah.
Then he gave it 11 after that. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, stop. Do we have some people?
Yeah, I'm trying to count it here because it kind of got spread out because people can't follow directions.
That's okay. They're our guests and they can do anything they want.
First number is 18.
18. Okay, how about we go 8? Because I think there was like 8 people.
There was 9.
Oh, 9? Okay.
I guess I need
Who
to
was
cut
it?
If we're going with number, sorry, there was 11. It jumped on me. The last person was Nana Aquarium guy with a 4.
Oh, I'm with you, Nana. But Jay might fall right through those little slits, or the little cage things, and really get eaten up. Okay, and who's number 2?
Oh,
Maybe they'll
The
become
second
shark
one was
number
8.
2.
second one was 8.
8. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
boy, this one's going to be a whole lot of math.
That would have been Curl Kitty.
And I just don't trust the cages anymore after there's videos of the sharks getting in the cages. So
Oh, they're
I think
just
I
trying to
prefer
be-
to be out of the water, out of the cage, free
I
swimming
did see that.
with like a spear in my hand.
They're just trying to give you a kiss. It's okay.
Well, that got a big 35 versus maybe we shouldn't have did the clubs right off the bat with a 58. It's going to be hard to beat. I tell you what.
No, rightfully
Let's go.
so.
Let's go. Okay, now here, this is Aqua Shella. Aqua Shella. So this is an aquarium festival that masses, like thousands of people will go to. You'll have like anywhere from 200 to 800 vendors. I mean, there's a butt ton of vendors. It's not as intimate as the club events, but it's still a lot of fun, and you can buy a lot of stuff. You can get some great deals. You can win some stuff. There's competitions at both, so it's similar to the clubs but different. So I will start it, and where did I put Aqua? Oh, Aquashella. I am going to give Aquashella a 9 because I really enjoy Aquashella a lot.
This isn't fair, though, because you work for them. Just like I guess Skipper works for the Clash. So.
Well, we'll just put it like this way. I hope I work.
yeah.
I'm still waiting. I
Yeah.
don't know if I still.
Yeah.
We'll unionize, Ed. We'll all get together.
Yeah.
Nobody works if Ed doesn't work.
I'm just keeping my fingers crossed, but I still love them. So, okay, Skipper, if you had a chance to go to Aquashella, where would you rate that?
7.
Okay.
Because to me, it's more corporate than it is club.
Yep.
It just reminds me of, and I'm about to go to it this year, like your SEMAs down in Vegas with the cars and stuff. They're showing you what's the greatest and bestest thing coming out, which is nice. Don't get me wrong, because it's good to go see that stuff. I like the more personal interaction and more of the fish-related stuff when it comes to the equipment. I don't know. I'm not really into that part, but
Aquashella has tried to make it kind of more of a flea market or a festival than like the Aquatic Experience. That's not on the list, but that was just like a car show. Exactly. You go to the Aqua experience, and everything was laid out by the vendors, and you couldn't even buy stuff.
You're
Hey,
missing
go
it
for it.
all together though, because the aquatic experience was still like somewhat like up on a personal level. You guys got to go to global if you want a car, like not a car show, but like a boat show where they're just showing the brand new boats. Car show isn't good because you'll get all the oldies and stuff like that. That's not a good example. But like a boat show, they're just showing the newest thing that's coming out next year, the yachts that nobody can really afford except for the 1%ers and stuff like that. That's global. You go to global and it's 20 times the size of Aquashella, and there's 500 booths for just cat and dog collars. Like, you can't buy anything there. It's not open to the public. It is just for pet stores, pet owners, and the industry. So if you go to one of those, it really makes Aquashella, and not so much the aquatic experience. Like, that's the missing link in between the two of them, really. But like, you do get a lot more camaraderie on Aquashella than Skipper and Rico has given it out to be.
And it's a great place to meet all the YouTubers and stuff too, because I mean, everybody takes their time, and it's real nice that way too. But global, is that the Orlando thing?
Yeah.
If you would ever want to hire an employee for one day to come down, I would go there with you.
Oh, if you wanted to go to global, you could just come with us. Just let me know. We only
my
go one
gosh,
day
that'd be
though,
so
and
much
it's usually on Sunday because nobody wants to go home with anything. And there's literally dog booths that are just like, take this food for free, and we'll get like 50 pounds of dog treats. So it's like,
oh wow,
yeah, it's worth going on a Sunday, or not a Sunday. I'm sorry, it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So it's worth going on a Friday. However, Wednesday is when they serve all the alcohol. So if you're about that life, then you can go around and literally everybody that has a buyer badge, it's free alcohol wherever you go.
I want to be able to walk out with the stuff. I'll get kicked out for falling over. On blood thinners and one kidney, I'm a really cheap date. Just saying. Okay, well, Rico, what do you say about Aqua? Oh no, we lost Skipper.
I'm going to give it a 7. And again, I haven't been there, so I haven't been able to experience it. But just from watching the live streams and talking to you guys that did get to go, it looks like it's a fun event. It just looks like there's too much going on during the event to be able to hang out with people and just enjoy the time with people. And again, maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it looks like. I compare it to the Keystone Clash again, where it's a lot slower paced. You can still get stuff in. You can do those things with your friends and hang out, and just, if you want to just sit all day and hang out, that's fine. You're still going to, get to enjoy the event. So I think a 7. It does seem a lot more corporate-y. It does seem a lot more, I don't know, it looks a little overwhelming, to be honest. Like, there's just so much going on. And the focus seems to be on big YouTubers, where the Keystone Clash doesn't really have that, the focus on the big YouTubers, where it's just everybody that goes we're all peers, So 7.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think, Grant?
All right, so I know I'm wearing the Aquashella shirt. I work for Aquashella. I'm gonna sound biased, but like, I think Rico got the wrong vibe when Ed said that before the Aqua Expo that we really hadn't vibed or got to know each other. And I think that's just because we were working, and I never really got the time to go, oh, hey, what do you keep or anything like that. We were always like also working on separate sides of the show. So it's not so much that I have more time at Keystone Clash than Aquashella, because looking back at the Keystone Clash, I didn't get to hang out with anybody during the show. Like, I got to go to the booth and draw one fish like towards the end of the day on Sunday, but Aquashella gets really slow on Sunday too, that I could walk around and, figure out who's got what still and get a good deal or something like that. But, after the shows and stuff like that, I would say the camaraderie and everything is just on point with the Keystone Clash. I might have different circles. I might know, you know what I mean, more people that are at the events in Aquashella. And I also have like certain friends that I only see at Aquashella that don't go to the Keystone Clash. And I'm not playing favorites or anything like that. They're really good close friends. So like Harley, who makes our custom PNW tanks, I don't think there's anybody out there that I get along with really better than him. And we're on opposite sides of the country. So at Aquashella, I get to spend like 2 or 3 hours a day with him still after the shows, hanging out, going out to eat, getting really good at Indian food and stuff like that. So my rating is 9.3. I know we're not doing the points, but just so everybody knows, it is a 0.1 higher than the Keystone Clash and Aqua Expo. And Aqua Expo is my hometown show. But also Orlando, Daytona, they're also from Aquashella hosting grounds. So I do think Aquashella could be a little overwhelming and stuff like that. But the Keystone Clash, with doing my own Aquascape and stuff like that, it was just as overwhelming, I think, as an Aquashella for me as a vendor, as a participant in contests and stuff like that. I was equally busy.
That's a fair point, and it's a very different aspect. You know, I'm not a vendor. I'm not involved with any of those extra things, so I do have a lot more time to, you know, enjoy things. Whereas you're doing a job and you're involved with these events and stuff. So that's a very, you know, good point. We're coming at it from a different angle a little bit, but our goal still is to hang out and get to talk to people and meet people too.
Aquashella is missing the hospitality room, but they do make up for it. Like on Friday and Saturday night, they had the VIP or the staff and vendor parties, and they are, you know, decent food or good dessert or free drinks, you know, and I mean, give or take one of the other, but it's they try to make the camaraderie and bring everyone together, and I think it's on point with the other shows if you're looking for it. If you're just a guest and going to the shows, maybe you're missing out on the after dinner parties and stuff like that.
Well, I loved at the Clash was being able to scape next to Grant and everybody. I had so much fun at that scape. And I've seen a lot of other scapes where it's all high intensity and pressure, and we just laughed and had fun. And I really enjoyed that about the Clash one, you know, scape off. But we're not talking about the Clash. We're talking about Aquashella, and we need to find out what the people's opinion on the number is.
10
We got 10 people.
Well, it was 10 people.
That's all I counted.
Our first one is number 3.
Number 3 is Lefty with a 6.5.
And our second one was number 9. You're doing 2, right, Ed?
Who was that? Yeah. Who said number 9?
No, the second number is 9. You said we had 10 people.
Oh.
Second person, number 9.
That would be TJ Autocross with a 4.
TJ, not into the big events. What if they had you race your car around the event the whole time? That'd be awesome. I would like to see that.
Death Race
Okay, let's see.
2000.
Yeah, a 46 for Aquashella. Okay, now let's go to the next thing. Oh, that was Aquashella. Let's see what this is. I don't know what this is. Oh, this is Atlantis in the Bahamas. Atlantis in the Bahamas. Okay, this is a super expensive trip, and I think it's more for people that aren't into fish, but they're just into doing something. Because, like, I watched videos on Atlantis, and I made the video, or that little 7-second video before I watched the Bahamas stuff, and I was like, this is just an amusement park, or a theme, like a water park with really expensive food. I mean, you can see how you can get rooms. Well, here's a water slide that goes underwater with sharks, but you can have a fish tank in your room that's real big, in your living room that's fish tanks. But you pay like $800 for that a night for that fish tank room. And I would rather spend $800 on a fish tank, you know, than
Yeah.
a one-night deal in a room. So I'm just going to throw it out there. I think I'd rather swim with the sharks in South Africa. So I'm giving Atlantis a 1. And that's just where I'm at. Sorry, Atlantis. But if you sponsor me, I'll give you a better number. Okay, come on. Baby cat wants to jump up, but she doesn't like to jump.
Should call her Lazy Cat.
But she's a ground cat, a bush cat.
Bush cat. That's redundant.
I'm about to give this number's the first time I think I've given it, because I've been to the Bahamas before and I was not impressed. The pictures is pictures. When you get there, no, it's not as clean as what people think it is. It's a 0 for me.
Oh,
No. Wow. I didn't know that was possible, but it is. I'd go, I guess, just to go. That's about it. Okay, Grant, how do you feel about the Bahamas?
I mean, the Bahamas as a general, yeah. Wait, is the question on Bahamas or Atlantis?
No, it's Atlantis.
Right. Atlantis, I would give it like a 2 because I had the choice to go to Atlantis or go snorkeling and do all the other things around Bahamas. And I just felt like I had way better time jet skiing and snorkeling with the turtles. And maybe it was because I was 15 and I was getting pina coladas and didn't know that they were not virgin pina coladas. So great time, you know. Got back to the boat and all the other kids were like, how are you like on alcohol right now? And I was just like, yeah, my mom was quite upset because you just go to the bar and if you're old enough to order it, yeah, they didn't ask questions. So
What was your beard?
what's that?
They didn't mess with your beard.
I didn't have a beard back then when I was 15.
He was a
Oh,
swimmer.
I
They
just-
didn't.
I just assumed he always had that beard.
He was born that way.
Okay.
His mom said it was really itchy.
Oh gosh. Okay, Rico, how do you feel about the
I'm gonna give it a
Atlantis?
7. I'm gonna give it a 7. You know why? Because I saw that big bed, and I saw that huge fish tank or under whatever. I just the bed. I was sold on the bed. I just want to go and sleep in that bed. That's it. I'm super tired right now, and that bed looks so good. And,
I got a feeling there's
I
going to be a better bed coming up though, Rico.
They don't do room service there.
I've never been there.
I read today.
Oh, they don't do room service?
No, you got to get your own food because
I'm
you
not
buy like a
sure
food
Then,
pass.
because I want to be in that bed with my drinks and snacks and stuff, and you know.
So
I'm
that's
gonna
okay.
drop
You
it
can
to
do
5.
that.
We'll give it a 5. That changes everything. How can you not have room service in a place like that?
I've never ordered
I
room
know.
service.
Oh, if you're gonna go to a place that costs that much, you damn straight they're gonna be bringing stuff to my room.
And then you just raise
I
your
did at
belly
Disney.
higher. Hotel food.
Does anybody have opinions on Atlantis?
You
Can
said
I
we had
get-
10 people. Okay. First number 6.
6? Oh wait, number.
First off, it's kind of copyright, right? Or like misadvertising because it's not even the real Atlantis, you know?
Yeah, that's what.
Oh yeah,
Greg's
Appropriation.
False advertising.
I think anybody
5.
should be able to have an Atlantis. A 5
All right.
for
Craig's
And-
catfish.
and
Greg's
second
Catfish
person is
Caves.
number 3.
Number 3,
Yes.
Xanadu with a 2 if it's free.
Do if it's free. I've never
Okay,
been to
so-
the Bahamas either, but I have a friend from there. We called him. No, never mind. I'm sorry. He was from Barbados. Never mind, because it was Barbados, Dave.
That stupid gnat. Ooh, it fell in my water. My paintbrush water. Okay, so 14. That's pretty terrible. Good job, guys. I'm proud of everybody here. Okay, let's see what the next thing is. Oh, that's that one. your local aquarium. There's 107 aquariums in the United States alone where you can go and check out fish from all around the world, all in one place. It can make a really fun day trip if you're in the town, or maybe a weekend trip if you're not in town. So I love my Tennessee Aquarium. I have a membership. I go quite a bit. Whoops, not that. Okay,
That looks
there we go.
familiar.
This is my Tennessee Aquarium. This is the Georgia Aquarium. I've been there. And this is the Branson Aquarium. Oh, that was really fast. And I
Wait,
haven't
wait.
been
Can we see that again?
the Branson Aquarium.
Look, okay. Next, right up here on the left, right above that. What is that? Above the big fish. It looks like an alien floating there. It was like legs sticking down. Or what the hell was that? Did you
Just
see
send
it?
An
a
octopus.
picture.
So it's on the left side of the picture.
It's
It's
a
the
Oh.
open-
spider, isn't it?
It's a fish.
It looks like it's got legs. It's got
Yeah, it's a fish. There's an alien in there with that whale shark.
Alien.
Well, guys, I think everybody should go to their local aquarium. When I lived in Illinois, I used to go to the Shed once or twice a year. I always wished that St. Louis would have an aquarium, and they finally did after I moved. I love aquariums. I used to go to the New England Aquarium every time I'd go visit my Aunt Joyce. Oh, by the way, congratulations to my cousin Kristen. She had a baby this week. So that's pretty
Congrats.
cool. It was her first baby ever, and it was a test tube baby. So that's cool. Okay, so I'm going to give aquariums a 10.
Jesus.
Okay, who's been to an aquarium here? Hey, Rico, how do you feel about aquariums?
I love the idea of it, but there's it just like zoos. A lot of times, the animals at the zoo, it's not the best for those animals. I feel the same as the aquariums. Doesn't mean every aquarium is bad. I give it a 10 if we know for sure that the animals are treated as well as we treat our fish, so I'm going to say a 10, but with that caveat that I've read enough and seen enough that a lot of the aquariums don't do the right thing by the things, much like zoos. A lot of zoos are the same way as well. They're just not good for the animals that live there. But I'm still giving it a 10, hoping that, we're talking about one of the places that do the right things.
Like one of the state-run ones, maybe.
Well,
Hopefully they run it better. I know, like, the Georgia Aquarium does an amazing job, and so does the Tennessee Aquarium, But then I've been to a couple that were kind of scurvy, so I understand what you're saying. The worst one I went to was in Canada, but I'm not even going to talk about that. They had a polar bear that was losing its hair, and that's all I'm going to say. Okay, so Grant, how do you feel about aquariums?
I think I'm on Rico's side, and the older I get, the worse it gets. Like, in the last year, I've been to the New Jersey Aquarium, the Shed, maybe the Pittsburgh Aquarium as well. So the 3 aquariums, and it's like the lack of plants in some tanks upsets me. The amount of algae in some tanks upsets me. It's just a lot of things get under the skin. So I got to give it a 7 because they're at least trying, but I don't know. I really think like our Florida aquarium is a lot better from my memory of just going with the kids not that long ago and not being that fond into the hobby, where the last aquariums, like the Shed, I just felt like it wasn't up to the hype. It didn't live up to the hype that everybody was. I love the Amazon section and everything like that. It was just like, I felt like it was missing a whole section,
Just old. It's like 100 years old, and I'm just picking that number out of a hat. But it's
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
So
I just
Yeah, I
figured
get
there
it.
would be
I get
more.
it.
Like they would have added on or like started building into the Great Lake or something. I don't know. Just I felt like
That'd be neato. That'd be awesome. Except then you'd see all the poop and stuff and the diapers. Okay, Skipper, it's all up to you.
Oh man, I got to give it an 8. I
Okay.
do enjoy going. Uh, it just feels too crowded sometimes, and you can't really get to enjoy it much.
Whew.
That's
That's for
that's one of the downfalls for me. And yes, depending upon what aquarium you go to, on how well it's kept. I did watch. There was a show on Animal Planet about one of the aquariums, how they showed how they ran it, how tip top shape. I think it was the one in Georgia. I think can't remember, but anyways, I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay.
and I'm right with
Cool
Skipper
beans.
too. If you do see a good exhibit and you finally like get like a good on look of the fish you actually want to see, then you start to feel pressured by the person behind you to get out of the
Yeah.
way so you let other people visit and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm with Skip.
Especially if you're trying to take a video or something. You know, it's kind of hard, especially if it's something that you don't see all the time. If it's
Yeah.
something that I saw for the first time, I definitely want a video of it so I can remember it.
That's when I don't feel bad about putting the elbows out and like take a good video. Like, I'll hold it down just for something like that.
Yeah.
But everything else, I just feel guilty. Like I'm taking up the viewing space for too long.
Well, I go during school days when it's a lot more quiet. You
That's
know,
what Leslie
summertime.
just said.
Yeah, it like I just took my cousin Laura and her son Harley like 2 weeks ago. And normally I don't, they were probably shocked I showed up in the summer because I normally never show up in the summer. And it was the most packed I've ever seen it. But like if you show up in the morning on a Monday, there's no kids there at all, or actually on a Tuesday. And it's great because most of the field trips are on Fridays. So it's just, I love going at the beginning of the week and it's awesome. But
It ain't-
okay,
It
so
ain't just the
let's-
kids though.
I
We
hate
got
it. They
17
mess up
right there.
everything.
For Ed, it is.
Okay.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
17.
Nice. Okay. First number is a 14.
14 by who? Hey, you can't
No.
14.
Ed, it's the 14th person. So I'm rolling the number.
Oh, that's right.
It
I'm
does
normally
get a
the
lot
number guy.
confusing. Like just
So
being
they-
like a first timer. I've seen the show a few times, but like this is the first time. A lot of the numbers go around. I'm confused. Like I'm getting it now, but it is a lot going around.
Sarah J.
What's wrong?
Seaver, the Savannah Darter with a 10.
Sarah.
And then our
Woo,
second
Sarah.
was number 10. Whoever number 10 is. I'll try and announce what I'm saying a little more.
That's Scotty the Fish Freak. He gives it a 10 because they pay him well.
Yeah, he worked that one. So-
yeah.
Let's see. We got 40 and 15. We've got a nice 55 for the aquariums, which is 3 less still than the Clash and the other club. Okay, so let's see what the next thing is on the list. Peru. A Peru trip. Peru.
See, now
Okay.
this is fair. This one's not fair because we have somebody there we want to go see. You know, it's a different, you know.
It's
Well,
fair.
that's why we had Kenny for Oktoberfest.
fair.
So because Dr. Anthony's there, I'd love to meet Dr. Anthony. And I'm afraid of South America. So, but I'd like to see the other stuff. I don't want to get like, and like my cousin, she's from El Salvador. She's real close to Peru, you know, so she's cool. But there's these worms that get in your leg, like on your femur, and they eat your leg meat, and they have a hole right above your knee, and they stick their head out, and when you're out in the water, they spoot their eggs out. And I don't want a parasite like that, you know, so I'm a little afraid. So I'm going to give it a 9. I'm giving Peru a 9 because of Dr. Anthony. Otherwise, I'd give it probably a 7. Okay, Grant, have you ever thought about going to Peru?
A lot. And it seems like every single speaker that I bring to come speak for our club has done a trip to Peru. Like just recently, we had Master Fish Breeder Dean, and he talked about his 7-day trip. The Bodrocks talked about going down to Peru, and then Dr. Anthony, of course, was one of our speakers as well. So even if you took Dr. Anthony out of the equation, I think I'd have to give this one a 10 because it is something on my bucket list. Like 2 weekends ago, we were just in the Everglades, and it was crazy. The amount of invasive species that we were catching, just the amount of sheer fish that we were catching compared to like up here where I can just get like 5 or 6 species from the ponds dip netting and stuff. And then to think that Peru, the doc said, like, Grant, just think it's like this, only every dip net, there's 13 different species of apistos and cories and different fish. And I'm just like, that blows my mind to think that there's that different variety and biodiversity in general down there that I could spend 3 weeks down there, no problem. So out of everything so far, I hate to give something a 10, but I think it's like a 9.6 and it adds like a 10, you know, rounding up here.
That's a 10.
You know what? I'll change mine to a 10 because that sounded pretty cool. And if I went with like you or Skipper or Rico, it'd even make it more fun. So, or with Dean.
And then just one last thing on the last topic. I hate to be that guy that goes back to something. The Georgia Aquarium, their manatee exhibit was just too small. So that's why they got a 7.
Oh, I haven't been there since they got the manatee exhibit.
No, the manatee exhibit was there since the very first week. I went to the Georgia Aquarium on the opening week. That's how small the manatee exhibit is. You didn't even see it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just because I'm from
Is it
Florida.
still there?
The whole manatee rehab and sanctuaries and stuff like that we have really impressive. Like even our like dinky little, crappy sanctuary has a really good manatee.
I've seen the manatees down there. I've seen the manatees in the ocean.
Yeah. So I think all I remember is going to the Georgia Aquarium as a kid and going, this is the most pathetic manatee exhibit I've ever seen. Like the
Wow.
whale sharks and everything was cool. But yeah, that's all I want to say. But Peru,
Why?
they might not have any manatees left, but it's still a 10 for me.
Well, I used to like the Tennessee Aquarium a lot better than the Georgia Aquarium, but the Tennessee Aquarium just got rid of my favorite wing, which was the native fish, and they put in a giant native fish tank and a stupid touch and feel sturgeon tank. And I really hate losing all my native fish, and I still need to go down there and complain. Okay, so we're at Rico. How do you feel about going to Peru?
I was going to give it a 7, but after listening to Grant, talking about the collecting and stuff, I'm going to bump it up to an 8. And it's not getting a 10 because it just sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
Everything's exhausting, but that just sounds.
Hold on, though, Rico.
Well,
There
I don't
are
wanna-
trips that you can take where you do nothing but stay on a boat the whole time, and they literally just drive you up into the collecting spot, and you're on a boat. So it sounds exhausting, but if you can eat fish like pleco soup and stuff like that, then the
Yeah.
boat trip is for you. I need to stay where there's like villages and I can eat chicken every day.
Traveling to
I
get
think they
there.
call
I'm exhausted, but Rico, you could be pampered. Just a little queen going down the river. They could take care of you.
It's staying at an 8
call
because
that-
I'm already tired thinking about it.
they call that the Jabba the Hutt skip, where you just sit on the boat the whole time. Okay. Okay, Skipper. That was gross.
I'm going to give it a 10. It's one of my bucket list things to do as a fish keeper. To get to go to where it all began is collecting, going to where they come from, getting the experience, and getting to meet the people and learn their culture and stuff. Whenever I first got into YouTube in 2018, it actually was a aquarium co-op collecting video that I watched, and it was in Peru where Dr. Anthony was. And watching that, I was like, wow, I'd like to go outside and catch fish. Why not go and do that? So for me, I want the experience of where it all started from, is going out and actually collecting these fish down in Peru. I would even go. I mean, I'd go anywhere, but since it's Peru, I would love to. Also, the good side to that is you got Dr. Anthony down there in Peru, and what they're trying to do down there, I think is great. So I would like to experience that also. So I'm giving it a 10.
Pretty guinea pig too. Just saying.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, so let's see. What did the people say?
3, 4, 5.
I won't eat your pet guinea pigs. Just the ones that were food guinea pigs, and that's only because of the culture.
I got 9 or 10. Go 10. 10.
Your first one is 8. The first person is number 8.
Oh man, I lost my spot. Sorry for the technical difficulties and the delay. Oh, there it is.
I would eat arapaima too because Dr. Anthony said you can do it.
A 9.
Seems bad, but I do it.
Aquarium guy.
Ooh,
And your second one, is
aquarium.
whoever was number 5.
Let's see who
And
the
8
sixth
from
person
the
will be that
Savannah
goes with us.
Daughter. Savannah Daughter. 8.
Sarah would be the 6th. Well, not man, but 6th partner if the 6 of us went. So an 8. So let's see. We've got 38, 46, 55. Oh, so close to the club event. So close. Off by 3. Well, maybe we'll see who wants to go with the 4 of us to New Guinea, Papua New Guinea, and see the rainbow fish and the last headhunters on Earth. And you guys want me to start?
Is that further than Peru?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is above Australia.
North of Australia.
Oh.
Kind of, and below India, kind of. So this is where Gary Lang goes to get all of his awesome, beautiful rainbows and introduced them to our hobby. My first club meeting was probably 25 years ago, and it was Gary Lang talking about his latest trip to get these rainbow fish. And all I could think was how stupid he was because I had just read a book about headhunters. And that was terrible. And I thought that the first time I ever saw rainbows was that meeting. And I thought, that's an ugly looking fish. It's got a little head and a big fat body. But now they're a lot neater fish. I really like them now. They're beautiful. But still there's headhunters. So I'm going to give it a 0. I'm not going to go to New Guinea. I would rather go to South Africa than New Guinea. Because I think there's less chance I would die in South Africa than New Guinea. Okay. And I've never given a 0, but since Skipper did it for Atlantis, I'm giving it to this. Okay. Well, Grant's thinking about it. You want some time to think about it?
I have it. Let me go before they go because I'll change your score too. All right. So y'all know who? Oh man, I'm totally spacing right now. Oh, Gary is rainbow breeder, right? But most people don't know that Gary was flown in by Dan Doherty to all of these places, and Dan just so happened to move into Orlando and has been one of the club members, and he came to see the Bod Rock speak. And I got to talk with Dan, and I got a couple stories. And Dan would know this perfect angle to take when he would go through the canopy of the trees and then dive down into a canyon at a 90-degree angle, and then underneath the canopy to land the plane. All right.
It's supposed to make me score higher?
Yeah.
All right. I'm
Uh-huh.
not going unless Dan takes me. But if Dan takes us and he knows where to go and everything like that, like I'm pretty sure I'm more worried about crocodiles than I am headhunters. All right. So there's like a certain split in the island. Like this half of the island, there's no headhunters, and that's where everybody goes to go collecting. And then this half of the island is where the headhunters are, and that's where nobody goes collecting. So there's not a chance I'm going to that half. All right. But if Dan wants to,
Probably got the really good rainbows.
what's that? No, that's where all the
It's got the unknown
are,
rainbows
for sure. If you want to find an undiscovered rainbow, you get, SEAL Team 6 to come protect you from the headhunters, and you go to that side. But you go to the other side, you're perfectly safe. There's no headhunters. There's an entire population of like non-native people that are there that, you know what I mean? You can go and get supplies and stuff like that. So for me, that's another destination. Not a 9.6, but a 9.5 for me. So still a 10. I for sure collecting rainbows and just I saw crocodiles in the wild 2 weeks ago in Florida. So that was checked off my bucket list. But still, it's a different breed of crocodile. So that'd definitely be interesting. So yeah. Did it change your answer at all? To go
Nope.
the other half?
No,
No.
But-
All right.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Skipper, you're wearing a rainbow on your head. How do you
Well,
feel?
Yeah, actually. That's going to be a 10 for me because it's the same as Peru. I want to go for the experience, man. I want to do what all these collectors done. What could you imagine a fish with the name Skipper in it? I'm just saying, it'd be great. That's what it is for me. It's the experience of doing all that. That's what I want to do.
The Skippy Dippy Pseudomcgill.
Well, you got mud skippers already.
I had nothing to do with that.
We got a mud skipper recently. It's in the
You should
bathroom.
name it after him. Oh, gross. Okay, so Rico.
I want to, in 30 or 40 years, I want to see what your answers are. I think that's a big part of it here. I think that's a big part of it. The younger people are all about, I'm getting on that thing and I'm going to go. And 30 years ago, 40 years ago, yeah, I would be all for that. But now my back is hurting just sitting here. I don't want to fly for, 26 hours or whatever it is, 3 days or however long it is. It sounds just exhausting, and it doesn't. I'll watch Gary Lang's collecting videos. Would I like to go there? Yes, I would. But the whole thing today sounds like it's just horrible. It just sounds horrible. But I'm going to think about it like these, whippersnappers, and I'm going to give it a 7. I'm going to give it a 7.
Well, joke's on you, Rico.
Well-
In 30 years, I'll have a by mechanical suit, and I'll be just fine.
I'm going to need one.
I won't be able to talk, but my body will be moving just fine.
Well, does the crowd have an opinion on New
16.
Guinea?
We got 16.
16.
Okay, so our first, hold on, one second, sorry. Our first person, you're looking for the 10th person.
Yeah, and maybe if I was more physically healthy, I would
a 7.
be more different too.
TJ Autocross with a 7.
And then the
TJ.
second one is the
Autocross.
14th person.
We're going to have to say a 10 because Xanadu says 12 for the rainbows plus 5 more for being able to top, maybe meet. Oh, Craig, Blake, Mark, Adele, and Blackman.
It should be better than the shark one, people. Come on. It's got to get a higher score than that.
So that's a
If
10.
XDo went, I might give it a 1 if I could go with XDo.
Now,
Okay.
like a picture of a bed in that thing in Papua New Guinea, then maybe my number
There
would
was
be a
a-
little bit higher.
I had a picture of a bed with a whole bunch of heads on it. Okay, let's see. What do we got here?
Family show.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Now, we kind of alluded on this one earlier, but we're going to go with it anyway. National club meetups. National club. So, like we talked a little bit about independent clubs, but this is where I put the ALA and the ACA and the Killy, National Killy Group, because I actually think I learn a lot more at these events than any other event I go to, because they have like the people at the top of the field collected from all the clubs across the country, and they do their talks. And I have learned so much at the ALA listening to all these different speakers. And I really like that, but it was so much bigger. Like when I was in Miami, I talked to Grant and Corey, Jimmy, and Dean. But I mean that. Oh, and Ryan. Ryan, I talked to quite a bit. Ryan's awesome. But
That's a great group.
yeah, oh yeah. But and I did meet a couple of guys. Like I met that one guy from Pennsylvania.
George.
Gosh, I wish I could remember his name.
George.
He gave me the towel. George?
Big guy, right? George?
Yes.
You had to help him a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah, that was George.
So I'm going to give the national events an 8. And the Triple Crown, I'm saying, is the exception because nobody knew what was going on and it was a mess. But all the other ones I've really enjoyed.
That's why.
And even if you go to the IFGA, you can almost put the Guppy conventions in with there too, because it's all from people all around. And I really learn a lot. So yeah. Okay. Where are you going with it, Skip?
Because of the Triple Crown, I'm going to go with an 8 because it was so disorganized, it was ridiculous. I got to meet, again, a lot of people I have not met before, and we did some pretty fun stuff, but
yeah, it was fun.
You would think with 4 different clubs, it would be a heck of a lot more organized. There was no communication, and the layout was just it didn't make sense. But I'm going to give it an 8 because of it is the national club, so to speak. They're trying to teach people about the hobby. So I'm going to give them an 8.
Awesome. And how about you, Rico Stan?
I'm going to go with a 9. I think the Crown is, an aside. I think that was one event, but again, I've never been to one of those events, but they sound like they've got everything that I want in the event. It's got the people, it's got the talks, it's got fish shows are quite often, you do have vendors there, but they're not like corporate vendors usually. So, there's some, right? But you have more like people like Grant, and you have other hobbyists too that are selling things. So I want to give it a 9. I would love to go to one. It's on my bucket list. Maybe the Killy. I don't know, any of them, to be honest.
I think there's going to be a catfish cichlid one in Vermont next year.
That's not super far.
Just something to think about. Yeah, if you go to that, let me know, because I'll try to go up there and hang out with you. Okay.
We'll have to look into that. What was it again? It was a catfish one?
Yeah.
It was catfish and cichlids, I think. But Grant, now at the Triple Crown, he was the first person I saw. He was like helping James and I get into the building. So, well, how do you feel about this, Grant?
So, if everyone was a Triple Crown, I would rate it just up there with the Keystone Clash. But I've been to like the AGA and the ALA without them being combined, and I didn't think that it was that good. Even though the Triple Crown was super disorganized, it was such a big event there is so much going on, but like you could choose between what you wanted to go and do. And you know, if you're like me and Shelby, oh well, I want something from both, and we split and we both went to like the Killies and the Guppy auction at the same time, so we could, you know, not miss out on that. But I really enjoyed it. But like the other ones, like the ALA that I met you at, Ed, there was only 15 fish in that entire show. It wasn't.
That was horrible.
It
The
wasn't
worst show I've ever. I was like, I wish I would have brought some guppies. I'd come home with hardware.
Yeah. So, and the AGA was just horrible. Like for my first AGA experience, maybe because it was the week before Aquashella in Chicago, and it was like 3 minutes down the road and stuff like that. It had like less than 200 people. The speakers weren't that good. Like I was expecting like AGA, it would be more plant expert based, and it was like very basic talks. And I was like, why are you giving this here? Like everybody in the room is like way beyond the skill level. So
wow, I would love to go to one of those, but that's a bummer.
if it was the Triple Crown, it would be getting a 9.3, but since it's shows overall, it's only going to get an 8 for me.
Okay. And you know what? We are going way over. I'm sorry, Skipper. We're 10 minutes over. We'll try to fly through the next 2. So let's see what the crowd says, and we will try to rip through the last 2.
Only 8?
Oh wait.
Well, I gotta re-roll. I made an assumption. First one is the 4th person.
Dennis
I got a
Christensen with
question.
the 9.
An 8 for Dennis.
9.
Ooh, Dennis liking the shows.
And then you had the 6th person.
Jeff Kane with the 10.
A 10. I see a question. Ed, what do you think of the Aquatic Expo? I loved it, and I wish it was still around. It was like a car show.
No, the Aquatic
and I
Expo is the one in South Florida, not the Aquatic Experience, Ed.
Oh, I've never been. Oh wait, I did go to the Aquatic Expo. That was the one in Miami.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Except, you know, I did more of the ALA stuff. I went to every single show they had, or every single talk, and I learned so much. It'll be an experience I'll always remember, and I loved going through Miami. That was a heck of a lot of fun too. Miami was
Ed,
so
if you come
cool.
This year, I'll take you collecting in the Everglades. It's like 45-minute drive from where we go to like the best spot.
Well,
You'd love it.
on the thoughts of that, collecting in Florida, collecting fish in Florida. Look at Grant caught a big fish.
What a kiss ass. Anyways.
Okay, I have collected in Florida, and I love Florida. What's so fun about Florida is you don't know what you're gonna get. And I know that sounds sad because of all the invasive stuff, but I mean, I have caught fish that would sell for $200 in your fish tank, but you're supposed to kill them because they're not supposed to be in the water, you know? So it's kind of like going on a treasure hunt. You know, you don't know what you're going to get. And I really look forward to going down to Florida next year. Hopefully, I wanted to go this year, but it just been so busy and stuff. So I hope I can go down next year once or twice and go collecting because I love it. And Shelby just had a TikTok out. Well, she probably does them all the time, but she was collecting fish at night. And it's like, I don't want to collect them at night. Well, did you have one? And that's where you saw your crocodile? Or was that a baby alligator?
Crocodiles are at nighttime. We saw both alligators and crocodiles. The crocodiles you have to almost go to the Keys to see. So we went really far down south in Florida to see those. But you want to do the collecting at night if you're dip netting because everything is like right on the surface and you just shine a light on it and it doesn't even really run for you. We probably scooped up 20 gar that were like 1.5 feet, if not bigger, in one night.
Oh, wow. Have you ever seen any of these orange gars?
No, none of the lewistic ones, but I did see albino walking catfish at one of the spots. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
Wow. That's awesome. So, okay, Florida is one of my
Yes, Scotty.
I mean, I would love to collect in Peru, but I think Florida is just as much fun. And then if you get to go with a guy like Kim, I got to go with Father Fish, and that was a lot of fun. And then I got to go with Ryan, and he's super awesome, and Ryan really knows his stuff.
Yeah, Ryan's great to go collecting with.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it a 10 just because it was so much fun, and I'm missing not doing it again. And I wear out quick. I was wearing out with Father Fish. Father Fish was just filming us from the banks, but I'm walking around and trudging in that swampiness, and I've got a bad back and everything, and so I wore out, but I still had a hell of a lot of fun. And then it was a lot of fun watching James. He was up to his head with, like this, catching fish, and he didn't even realize he was catching so many fish. His bucket was sideways and his fish were all swimming out. That was so funny, but it was still a really fun trip, and both times I've gone collecting down there, it's been fun. So I'm giving that a 10. Okay, well, we'll save Grant for last because you may not even think it's fun because you live there. I don't know, but we'll go to Skipper.
If it's collecting, it's a 10 for me also. If we're doing other stuff in Florida, it's a 4. Okay. I've been down there 2 stinking months, but if we're collecting fish, I'll give it a 10.
Well, if you would come down to my house and then we go the rest of the way down and visit Grant and LRB, we could see their houses and see all their fish. That would be a lot of fun too. And then we could take them out or we'll take Grant. I don't know. I've never gone out to eat with LRB, I don't think. But go out with Grant to eat, and that'd be a lot of fun.
I've got a Korean hot pot next to my house that I take everybody to. It's the spot.
You don't get what do they call it? A percentage.
Maybe we'll try eating with LRB.
LRB doesn't like to eat out unless you're having crab. Then he's all for it.
I've ordered in with him. We normally just sat all night long and ordered DoorDash, I think, with him. But yeah, okay, so Rico. Oh wait, yes, Rico. Where do you say?
I don't know, man, because there's a lot of positives. There's Grant, there's LRB, there's Jay. I mean, there's a million people down there.
Bet we could call Ryan too. And
So
Garcia's down there.
Yeah, Berto. I mean, just so many people. So that's way up. So many different fish to catch. That's way up. It's Florida. That's way down.
So I love Florida.
I do not, and it really, so you balance those things, and I'm trying to think of it just from the collecting and hanging out with people part of it. That's huge. That would be a 10, but I'm in Florida doing it, so that's a 0. I'm going to give it an 8.
Well, that's still nice
because of the opportunity for collecting different stuff and for all the people that I would get to meet and hang out with.
What we would do is just drive way around any land markers that make you think you're in Florida. Try to avoid all the
you're just not gonna.
trees.
You're not gonna.
You have to blindfold him until you get to the destination. Put one of them hoods over his head.
Okay.
Sorry, Grant.
Well, Grant.
So first off, if we're collecting by me, I can tell you exactly what we're going to catch in the ponds. There's nothing invasive over by where I live except for maybe koi fish and plecos and Cuban tree frogs. So you got to go like 2 hours south before it's like, I have no idea what's going to be in that canal. You know what I mean? So if we're collecting by me, it's a 5. If we're going to Miami, it's a 9. So like a 7.7. We'll meet halfway. It'll be a 7 for me. But also, I don't like the collecting where you're like chin deep in water and stuff like that. I like to go to bridges and culverts and nice, good spots with maybe a lot of vegetation, but like we've got like a 24-foot long dip net, so you can go to the top of a bridge and just snipe fish off the top. So
Yeah, that sounds better than
Cool.
being up to your chin. I agree.
and then you do it at nighttime. You don't have to worry about the 90-degree temperatures. The mosquitoes might be out, but we've got solutions for that too.
Now, you mentioned that you have invasive. Oh, 11. Okay. You mentioned that you have invasive Cuban tree frogs. How would you like me to bring down some invasive Tennessee tree frogs? Maybe they go to war with each other.
I'm pretty sure the Cubans will win that war, and it's just going to be more frogs I have to take care of. So you can leave those there.
They're about the size of your pinky
Oh
nail.
no, the Cuban tree frogs, like the bigger ones, are like the size of this mug, the circle of the mug. They get
Oh
pretty
my gosh.
big. Yeah.
Well, the worst thing about the Tennessee tree frogs is they excrete a poison. And so they'll kill all your fry in your tank.
No, the Cubans, they eat all the native frogs and lizards and stuff like that. So they're a big pest, and they're
They
so loud and obnoxious. So yeah.
Well, then forget it. I'm not wasting my frogs there.
What number?
Okay.
you got?
So
The ninth person,
One-
Skipper.
It will be an
I was
8,
hoping it'd be like
an
a
8
party.
from a Misa. An 8 from a Misa.
8 for Mamisa.
And
Mamisa?
then the fourth person.
I like a good Cuban sandwich, though.
Nano Aquarium Guy goes a 10 if in early spring or late summer.
Nana, oh, and he lives down there too. He might come with us. Maybe what we'd have to do is set up like a whole party day, and then then we could go to like one of those Cuban restaurants that are open, and you can just get drinks and sandwiches. It's fun,
Yeah,
guys. Trust me. Okay, so he said a 10.
And then ice cream afterwards.
I'll
ice
stay with the
cream.
drinks. I'll just stay at the drinks. If I'm hanging out with the Fish fam, I need lots of drinks. Just to deal with them.
Oh, I thought it was so we could deal with you.
That too. Yeah.
Oh.
Definitely makes sense.
Florida got a
Everybody else.
53. Okay, last one. I'm so sorry, Skip. Now, this is one that's on my bucket list that I would love to do. Hong Kong and visit the fish markets. I just want to be able to walk through the streets with dozens and dozens of fish markets or stores. I think it'd be so much fun. And then I also think it'd be fun to see the culture. I'd also love to go to Japan too, though. So I just like to do Asia. But Hong Kong. And I'm just, like I just said, I'm going to give it a 10 because every time I watch the Price is Right, I root that they'll give out a Hong Kong trip. Okay.
Well,
So
Rico,
Grant,
I was wrong. I thought for sure that Ed was going to have one of those hotel rooms where it just puts you right on the reef in Greece or something like that. So I was like, oh, there'll be a better bed than the Atlantis one. But I was wrong. But going to
There
Hong
is a
Kong,
better bed.
that's pretty
It's
up
right-
there on the bucket list for me, but it doesn't come close to actually collecting and doing it myself. So probably a 7 for me.
7 for Grant. I hope I win the lottery so I can take the 4 of you guys to some of these places. And maybe the people that randomly participated, I would take them. You don't know because I didn't win the lottery.
You gotta bring
If I'm
Rico
giving
to make
myself a
him
good
taste
vibe,
all the
you never
nasty
know.
food.
Oh, and you see, I would much rather eat the Hong Kong food than whatever food you just mentioned.
Oh, I'm talking like
Some
all the
pot
like
food.
the bugs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He's
Oh,
got
yeah.
he's got that thing going on right now where people are sending him nasty food. So I'm sure walking
Oh,
around the market in Hong Kong. We can find all sorts of things for Rico to eat.
That reminds me, I got something in the mail for Rico today that I need to send you.
Like
But
a bat.
we'll talk about that. We'll talk about it in the next stream. Okay? Well, not next stream, but next stream with you and me.
We could get Rico to eat a
Okay.
bat in Hong Kong.
I'd do it.
No,
I had a
I got
bird.
music. I got something. Uncle Bruce and Aunt Donna mailed me something to give to Rico.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Oh, I gave
Thanks, Uncle Bruce.
Skipper a 10. Skipper, what did you give Hong Kong?
A 5.
Ooh, a 5.
Um,
Well, I
my
won't take
reason
Skipper.
for that is that's just too much going on one time for me in them fish markets because I seen the videos and I'm like, no, I'm good. Too much. But
But you're so much bigger than all of them.
I don't
You're like Andre
care.
the Giant. It's awesome.
Listen, that doesn't matter. I don't want to have to end up pushing people over because I can't see them. That's besides the point. It's just too much going on. I don't really like that, but I would like to learn the culture, and I would love to see the fish that they have over there. But it's just too much for me. It's a 5.
When I went to Cancun, I went into the city to see where the normal people live and stuff. And when I came back, I got off on the bus and we're waiting to go across the street. And there was like 25 construction workers, all with their little hard hats. And they're all like 2 foot below me, you know? And I wished I had a camera somehow, you know? But I did say, does anybody want a peanut? And nobody said anything. But it was just awesome. Okay.
That's
Rico,
funny.
where do you feel about Hong Kong?
I'm going to give it a 2. I don't want to go to any city.
Oh,
I'd rather go to Papua New Guinea and see the native people there that are going to try and kill me than go to any city, like a big city like Hong Kong. I mean, it's massive, and there's just people everywhere. And yeah, that is not for me, regardless of the fact that there's all those cool fish stores there. So it's getting a 2. I can't even breathe right now just thinking about it. It's all the, it's just any big city. I just I don't like to go to big cities anymore.
okay. Well, let's see what the people said, and then let's see, does anybody want to go to Hong Kong with me other than Grant?
13.
13. So it is the 4th person.
That's an 8 from Nano Aquarium Guy.
And the 12th
Right, go
person.
8.
We go with Nano.
Catahoulous, an 8.
An 8. Cat house.
Cat house.
Okay, so let's see. 15, 17, 23, 39 for Hong Kong. Oh, I never did add up Papua New Guinea. 27 and 17, 34, I think. Is that right? 44 for New Guinea.
So Atlantis was definitely the worst, though.
Yes. Nobody, whoops, I just lost or am I still on?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
For some reason, when I came back, the screen had turned off. Okay, so nobody go to waste your money and go to Atlantis because we've decided it sucks, unless it's the real Atlantis. And we'll meet you at the club shows. The Clash is the next one coming up with a big 58. We got 2 55s for Peru to go see Dr. Anthony and go to your local aquarium for a 55. And then coming in at 4th, Florida to see Grant. And he'll teach you how to catch fish. And a 52 for the national clubs, which is kind of still clubs. So awesome, guys. That was a lot of fun. I appreciate Grant. Thank you so much for coming up and hanging out with us. I know
no problem.
it probably wasn't your normal. People normally like pick his brain. If anybody has a quick shrimp question, ask him. Are yellow-eyed shrimp really blind?
I don't think so because if you move around the tank on the outside, they can still like react and move. So if you try to take a picture of them on the outside of the tank, they still like react like they're getting scared of the camera. And how would they know if they couldn't see? So that's my theory on it.
Makes sense. Blue-eyed people can see. So makes sense. Well, and Skipper, Rico, thank you for coming up and hanging out with us so much. Super chatters, thank you guys so much for all the super chats. I really appreciate it. Hopefully we'll be making some cool crafts next week with the super chat money that you sent me, because I'm jonesing to make some cool stuff. And thank you guys for all hanging out. Mods, you guys are amazing. And we're going to go to Skipper's show. And is the link in private chat? Oh, it is. Awesome. So, guys, we'll talk to you later. And we'll see you either next week or, well, probably everybody here knows when Grant's show is. Grant, when do you guys like to air?
Monday at 9.
Monday at 9. Rico, do you have a set time on Tuesdays?
Actually,
anytime.
Saturday. It's the Saturday.
Saturday.
Pile Aquatics is going to join me for the Focus on 8 p.m. this Saturday.
Okay.
Awesome. And Skipper, other than next, do you do a show any other time during the week?
Yeah, it's like Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It should be Silver Creek Aquatics.
Ooh, nice. Silver Creek is awesome. So we'll catch you all at the Nocturnal Feeding.